Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of the Long Hill Report, where we again interact with the theater company known as Pasture Prime Players, the premier theater company of the Charlton area. Today we are fortunate to have the guest Stephanie Sawyer, who will be directing the next production of Pasture Prime Players, which is Honeymoon at Graveside Manor. Okay, well, that sounds very cheerful.
Yes.
So we will let her, well, first of all, let's talk about it to Stephanie. Stephanie's been with Pasture Prime about 7 or 8 years, you think?
About 7 or 8 years. Before the COVID shutdown, yep.
And this is her first directorial outing.
Yes.
So let's let her talk about herself and how she got into this, and then we'll get into the play itself.
Sure. So I got into theater because of my husband, actually, Joseph Sawyer, who's been part of Pasture Prime and all local theater companies, I would say for about past 10 years, if not more. And he's the actor in the family. I would just do all the behind the scenes sets and tech and lights and all that. And Pasture Prime actually was my first place that I did my first ever stage performance in The Foreigner, which was pre-COVID. And then I did one other show at Stage Loft, Black Comedy, and then my last show that I did on stage, I was Vera, the guidance counselor in She Kills Monsters.
Yeah, that's Pasture Prime does do a few outre little adventures, and this one, Honeymoon at Graveside Manor, that sounds in keeping with what happens.
Yeah.
So, why don't you go into the plot and everything and how Pasture Prime chose this play?
So they actually told me to choose the play. They needed a director for the October show, and I said I have nothing going on, so I volunteered to do it and had the opportunity to read through a bunch of different scripts. And I chose this one partly because it takes place in an old, dilapidated, kind of abandoned house that was formerly a funeral home. And I thought that it kind of gave me the Scooby-Doo-esque of, you know, kind of searching for the ghoul or the goblin. And I felt that for my first show, it was an easier show to do.
Okay.
It's about two newlyweds who got married on Halloween, and they decided to honeymoon at the mansion. And some unfortunate events happen throughout the evening that they are there for the first night that I think are pretty funny. I don't want to give away too much, but Tyler Thorncraft, who is the newlywed, is a horror-themed writer, and so his plan is to write a novel off of his stay at the manor.
Well, okay, you need to get any successful. You need some adventures at this. Anything you want to go into? And
First life experience, I guess. What better to write about than what you're experiencing in the moment? So
it's a former funeral home.
Yes.
And so they honeymoon there. Does this get turned into a honeymoon inn, or does they just say, "Hey, we want this place now"?
So they actually don't get into that part of it too much. They talk about the fact that it's been pretty much an abandoned funeral home for about 30 years, turned into a manor. And there's a graveside that's next to it, hence the name Graveside Manor in the title. And as they're going through the first night there, that's kind of where we walk through, is that whole first night of them being there. They kind of come to realize that it might not be as bad as they thought it was, even with all the little spooky things that happen throughout the night. So I don't know. I'd have to see if there's a part 2 to see if they actually remain there and fixed it up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know, there's a famous New Bedford home you've probably heard of.
It sounds familiar. I'm not 100% sure.
A famous poem that supposedly a woman might have killed her mother and father.
Oh, the Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
Yes.
Is there kind of a little Lizzie Borden flavor here?
There could be an axe involved within the show.
So so the person who uses the axe is kind of a cut up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, there might be a scene or two where there might be something that happens. There may or may not be an escaped mental patient at the local asylum, as they call it. There may or may not be a donut-obsessed officer that randomly shows up.
A donut obsessed.
Yes.
We're not doing any stereotyping here, are we?
Nope, not at all. It's literally donut obsessed. Yep.
I remember when the DARE program was all big, they had the bumper sticker, "Dare to keep cops off donuts." Anybody in the police department, I didn't say that.
Yeah, and there's a spunky housekeeper that gets involved, and Tyler's editor actually gets all roped up in the bit too. So it's a full house for this honeymoon evening with Tyler and Marion. So.
And okay, let's. Have you cast everybody?
Yes.
So the casting has been done.
Yep.
What are the dates?
So the dates are, we open on Halloween. So our first show is October 31st and then November 1st and 2nd. On Halloween night, we are going to be giving out little trick-or-treat bags to the audience members that they come, so they don't miss out on their trick-or-treating. And then the following weekend, which I believe off the top of my head might be the 5th, 6th, and 7th. November 5th, 6th, and 7th, so it's the following weekend as well.
Is there going to be any matinee?
Sunday shows are matinee. They're at
Sunday
2
show,
o'clock in
matinee.
the afternoon. On the Fridays and Saturdays, doors open at 7 and show starts at 7:30.
Okay. Tell us more. Good.
Yeah, well, it's been fun really directing. For my first time, I'm really glad that I picked this script for my first time directing. The set is a wonderful set. You're going to notice right away that it may or may not look like it rained inside of the house, and some water stains on the walls and things like that. So there's a little flavor of some funeral home items as well. And I also chose this show too because I actually went to school to be a funeral director. So
Really?
yeah.
What kept you from doing that? The theater interfere?
No, no, I wasn't born in the business, so it was a little difficult to find my way into it. So it kind of gave me that feel of like, ooh, I can get into the funeral home business in the sense from behind the scenes. So, and we're a family that really loves Halloween and go all out every year. So I just really enjoyed reading this script, and I wanted something a little more campy as opposed to, spooky, gory, and scary.
Okay. But there is an aspect to that, though, as
A little
well.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there in the play itself, is there a flavor of a geographical location?
No,
It could be anywhere.
it could be anywhere. It is in present day.
Okay.
So it's really, we kind of just normal every day if you're going out and you see this abandoned home and there you go. So we did it pretty much present day. There is some prop guns that are in there. I know some people that's a trigger for them, so that's a little trigger warning. Is there are some prop guns with some bullet like bang bangs that happen.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, you know, we are here in New England. We have this. I won't call it a death wish, but we have the aforementioned Lizzie Borden. We also have Salem, where people go
Yes.
all kinds of way out on this macabre idea. As a play, would you suggest it has a real macabre taste?
No.
More a humorous?
Yeah. Yep. It's more of a. When I say Scooby-Doo-esque, it's got the silly, you know, missing each other, passing in the wind kind of situations, popping heads out, tiptoeing, and so it has a little bit more of that campy Halloween feel.
Well, you're talking to somebody who may be the only person in this country who has never seen Scooby-Doo.
Oh wow.
So, I remember actually once seeing it. I got called for an evening duty in the Army when I first went in, and this show Scooby-Doo, and it actually had sort of a Halloween aspect to it, and that's all I remember.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what Scooby-Doo is.
So I guess when you think of Scooby-Doo, you have the iconic "Ruh-roh, Raggy, is that you?" from Scooby-Doo looking for Shaggy, and then they do the is that a ghost? And then they start kind of quivering. So there's some of that feel in it, where one of the characters potentially sees a ghost and kind of stutters over their words, and then kind of plays it off when they're asked, like, "Did you see a ghost?" And I'm not really sure, kind of thing. So yeah, you should really watch Scooby-Doo though. It's a phenomenal show.
Yeah, I'll put it right on the list. No, I mean, I hear all these references, and I've heard them for years, to Scooby-Doo. And I have no idea. I can't. Oh, yeah, okay. I try to look not completely oblivious, but I'm not good at pulling that one off.
Oh, yeah.
So
I grew up watching Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo.
Well, you're half
so
my age, if not a quarter of my age.
I am older than I look. I will say that. But yeah, no, I think the show, the cast especially, like they have really brought this show alive. You know, with the tiptoeing around the stage and just really bringing that aspect of what did I hear? Did I hear that? You know, and there are some parts where Myron, who is, well, I don't want to give away that character yet. He comes on and you kind of see him peering through windows or poking his head around doors and things like that. And they've really done a phenomenal job because we've had a little bit less time to rehearse than we have for most other shows, because we started rehearsals mid to late August. So we've only had really 8 weeks asked to rehearse.
It seems like yesterday we were talking to the Conopackies about She Kills Monsters. So yeah, you've okay. So the day after this play is done, you're going to do the next play.
Possibly.
No.
Possibly. I kind of have the theater bug, as I guess they would call it. She Kills Monsters was my first show since COVID. So I have not acted since before COVID or done anything with theater since before then. But I did also have 2 children, so that's kept me a little busy.
Excuses.
But yeah, no, I would love to be back. I would love to direct again. It's been a lot of fun working with people that I know on a personal level, as well as meeting new people. And I was able to wrangle in my husband to come be in the show. And he just finished a show last week So he literally has 2 weeks to learn his lines.
What show did he just finish?
He just finished Jekyll and Hyde at the Little Theater on Broad Street in Killingly.
Oh, okay, so you went Connecticut.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there are surprisingly a number of theaters around. I mean, what is it, the Gateway in?
Gateway Theater, yeah. Gateway Players.
We lost the stage loft,
Yeah.
and that was a fun place. But we do have outlets for actors, directors, and audiences.
Absolutely.
What are we planning next?
I have no idea. I know that they had a meeting last night, possibly to talk about what the next shows are going to be. I had mentioned it would be really cool if we could do like a Christmas cabaret-esque kind of thing for the holidays, because it does get cold, so we don't do a lot of winter shows.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be really fun to just have a bunch of people get together and, sing Christmas carols and, do some type of one-act show. I did throw that out there to Dawn.
In a Christmas-themed show, it does get cold. My suggestion is to do it inside.
Yes, definitely. But it's very cold in the theater in the winter downstairs.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll put a space heater on the agenda. I'm not going to donate or anything for a space heater, but I think it's a good suggestion.
Absolutely. I would love to do it, and I would love to connect and even do something with my husband. My husband's directed a bunch of shows, and I think that would be really a fun activity for us to do together and bring the kids in, because our kids are, our daughter is 4, so she's just about the age where she can start auditioning for kids shows and things like that, and she's already loving being on stage. During rehearsals, it's, Mommy, I want to be up on stage. So we definitely have theater kids. My son's only 1.5 years, so he doesn't know yet.
Yeah, it's very, a child that's 1.5 years, they don't really memorize their lines well as they read the...
Yeah, they're really bad at that. And they don't pay attention very often. They just kind of do their own thing.
You noticed.
Yep.
So, is this what are the other theaters you've performed in?
So performance-wise, Pasture Prime was my first, and then Stage Loft was my second, and Pasture Prime was my third. That's it.
Your husband, what's his name?
Joseph Sawyer.
Joseph Sawyer. You said that, and I didn't listen, of course. What was the play he did in Killingly?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Okay. And you've dragooned him into coming here to play. Good.
It was obligatory. I'm his wife. He had no choice.
You've got quite a training program there, Lassie. I don't want you to ever talk to my wife. Anyway, can you give us the names of characters of the other players?
Sure.
And kind of a background.
Sure. Marion and Tyler Thorncraft are the newlyweds. They are played by Christopher Lamb and Hillary Robertson. And they're married in real life, which is great. So they have great chemistry on stage as well, which is amazing. We have Sophie, played by Christy Clementi. She is the spunky, obnoxious housekeeper who shows up 12 hours late for her job. We have Officer Blair, who is played by my husband, Joseph Sawyer, who loves donuts.
Oh, we're not going to ask you if in real life.
He does like donuts. He does.
Well, who doesn't?
Right? Especially this time of year, apple cider donuts.
Oh, gosh.
The go-to. So, and then we have Dawn, I hope I pronounce her last name right, Seidler, and Ducati Seidler, so mother and son. Dawn is playing Madge, Tyler's editor, who is pretty upscale and falls into a bit of a turmoil ditch, I guess you could say, and comes out looking like Swamp Thing.
A turmoil ditch.
Yeah, she's just...
Is that a thing? Because I've never heard. Well, I don't know I don't, believe it or not, I don't know everything.
Yeah, so it's a literal ditch she falls into from her car, but just has this turmoil that she's going through of she left, got stuck in a ditch, is covered in moss and swamp, and comes back to the house when she was trying to leave the house, so there's some turmoil going on there. And then we have Ducati, her son, who plays Durwood, who is a sophomore in high school, who's also very clumsy. The best part of the whole show, I think, is the scene where they talk about how he wanted to be a stomach surgeon, so he enrolled in the Naval Academy, not knowing that that's not stomach surgery.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have...
the Naval Academy.
Yeah.
For stomach surgery. This kid is not Mr. Aware.
No, not much at all. And Ducati does a great job with that role. He spends more time falling on his over his own feet than he does standing, I think, during the show. But he does it well, and he hasn't gotten injured yet, which is really important. And then we have Judy, played by Tiffany Betty. Tiffany actually just finished the Clumsy Custard show at Gateway, so she was kind of doing both shows at once.
Clumsy Custard.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I heard it's like a spoof to Rocky Horror, maybe? I'm not sure. But, so I met her aunt actually in She Kills Monsters. She was in there as the narrator. So that's how I met Tiffany. And who else is in it? We have Sarah Tonkin, who plays Suzanne, who is Judy's sidekick. And
Sarah Tonkin?
yes.
Is she a teacher?
Yep.
Yeah, I met her.
Yep. So she plays Judy's sidekick in The Gopher, where Judy is the leader of Durwood, Suzanne. She's kind of the gopher. Go get this, go get that, and just kind of follows around Judy and makes her feel good. And then we have the woman, played by Angela Clark,
Okay.
who carries an axe.
Okay. What is her name again?
Angela Clark.
I mean, no, that.
Oh, the woman.
That's
Just
all.
the woman.
The woman.
The woman.
Okay.
Yep. So, and we have Greg Glanville, who plays Myron, who is an escaped lunatic, as they call him in the play, an escaped lunatic.
Escaped lunatic.
Yep.
And that's everybody.
That's everybody.
And their interactions are around these people who are looking for a peaceful honeymoon.
They are. And then Myron shows up, and that's where everything goes awry.
Oh boy. It sounds like, sounds a little wild, a little insane.
Yep, absolutely. And every character really gets to interact with one another in some aspect throughout the show, which is really cool because you have the high school kids interacting with Myron at one point. You have Tyler and Marion interacting with Myron at one point, and then you have the kids interacting with Marion and Tyler. So there's a lot of interaction that happens between everybody, just not at the same time, which is great.
There's no slapstick aspect to this. There are a little.
Maybe a little.
You're not going to give away too
Not
much.
too much.
Not
too much. I did give away my favorite part of the whole show, though, which is the Naval Academy. So.
You know what? Who the hell came up with that?
I know, right? So Pat Cook did, because he wrote it.
Yeah. What else has Pat Cook been known for? Anything you know?
He has written probably like 100 different shows. He's out there. He's got a lot of different variety of productions that he's written, but I don't know specific names. Like I said, I'm fairly new to it, so I'm even learning that part of it.
Is he Broadway, off-Broadway? Has he ever been
I
that?
think he's off-Broadway.
Okay.
Yep, and I don't think he's done musicals. I think it's just straight like theater production with no music kind of thing.
So there's not going to be any music here in this play.
There might be a ticking bomb at some point. There's some spooky wind.
Well, that's not exactly music, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Yep. But you got to keep your ear out though for the ticking bomb, because that is scattered throughout. So.
The ticking bomb.
Yep. I'm not going to give away too much on that one. But
Okay, we won't.
yeah.
We won't. The Naval Academy. That is.
Yep.
How can somebody be so unaware to not know that Annapolis is, the Naval Academy? But that kind of works, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you have to meet Durwood to understand. It makes a lot of sense when you meet Durwood.
Okay.
Yep. But I do think in real life, I read Ducati's bio, he does want to be a surgeon in real life, so which is
Okay.
pretty cool. We'll just have to remind him not to enroll in the Naval.
Harvard Med. Forget the Naval Academy.
Yep.
A naval surgeon.
Yep.
Yeah, they have 'em.
They do,
Yeah.
just not at the Naval Academy.
No. Okay. More. Give us more.
Oh, what else can I give you?
Well, it's your play. I mean,
Oh, I don't want to give away too much of
I
it, though. That's the
know.
problem.
I know, but see, that's I wanted to be a dentist so I could extract things.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm a therapist in real life, so I don't talk that much.
Okay.
No, I think
What do you mean by that?
I just ask people, how does that make
That's
you
what I
feel?
just did.
No, I think the set is very minimal because we want the focus on the characters more than the set. So it's very minimal furniture on the set. There's a lovely portrait that's hanging up on the set that I'd like everybody to take notice of. It's gorgeous. It's my husband and I. We're using that as the Thorncrafts that used to live there when it was still the funeral home. That's what we're using that as, is the Cyrus and Lydia Thorncraft were the original owners of the property. So we needed some type of regal portrait, and that's what we hung up.
So you found something, you didn't have it.
No, my husband and I had the pictures made back in 2020, and I accidentally ordered the wrong size portrait. So instead of a 16 by 20, I ordered like a 36 by 40, and I didn't know what to do with this picture. So I was like, oh, it'll look great on the set.
Well, as it happened in 2020, that shows you had a certain vision.
I did. I knew I was going to do this play eventually. Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, but no, it's like I said, it's a minimal set, minimal sound effects. The characters themselves do a lot of the sound effects, which is amazing in itself. I think that having such a minimalistic, even the wall presence of it, kind of really gives it that character of, okay, how long has this really been abandoned? We're using the slats and pieces of wood that were already broken, and we're not fixing them to give it even more character on the walls, and because the setting itself has to speak for what's going on as well.
The stars, the true couple that go, did they evidence any fear at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Marion herself hates it there. With it, the moment they walk through the door, she's like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here, and constantly presses to leave there. But then as they're talking about leaving, more and more and more people show up, what prevents them from leaving. And so she just is hating every moment of it being there. Which is kind of funny because you see the progression of it kind of happen throughout. And then at one point, she just gets really frustrated with Tyler, her husband. And it's kind of funny because it's like, all right, well, let's get out of here. And, at one point, they're just like, that's it, we're taking the car. But everybody's car ends up in a ditch somehow throughout the show.
Does turmoil come into play here?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering if, I'm having a little flashback or
Yep.
something. Wonderful.
Yep.
Great.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. I'm super excited. I hope that everybody in the audience enjoys it. Like I said, the actors and actresses have worked very hard, and I couldn't be more proud to have had cast them in the show. And I've been so appreciative to their patience with me learning how to do all of this for the first time as well.
We we wish you excellent success in this.
Thank you.
It sounds like it's great fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
We've been happy to have Stephanie Sawyer here, and she is directing Honeymoon at Graveside Manor, downstairs here, the Pasture Prime Players. This has been Richard Morco. Thank you very much.